right, good morning, everyone. It's our second day of virtual preschool, and we're going to just go ahead and get started. Our book is a little longer today, so we don't want to dilly-dally or anything. So we have our calendar. So our month right now, we talked about the other day, is September, and we're going to count the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14 was the last day on Monday that we had school. The 3's class had school the next day, which is Tuesday. So 14, 15. So we would have, let's see, school bus, school bus, school bus, and number 15 will be school. So we'll put that in there. And we have to do one more because that was yesterday. That was a 3's day. So let's see here, 13, 14, 15, 16, and let's see, school, bus, school, bus. So number 16 is a bus. All right, so let's go over here. So the last day of school we had was Monday. So we're gonna see what the next day is. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So what comes after Monday? Monday, Tuesday was the 3's class. Wednesday is today. So we'll move our frog down to Wednesday. So today is Wednesday, September 16th. All right, and then I'm going to look out the window. You all can look out the window too. But let's see. Oh my, we have quite a bit of clouds again today. I think we had a cloudy day on Monday too. So we have a cloudy day today. There's our cloudy picture. Maybe that'll change later. And it was pretty cool this morning. It's supposed to warm up this afternoon though. So right now it's cool. Later on it's going to be pretty warm. So but right now we have cloudy and cool. And the other day we talked about the fact that even though our trees are starting to change color a little bit, that it is still technically summer. We have not changed to fall yet. And, oh, I showed the 3's class this yesterday. This has nothing to do with what we're talking about. But my brother had a little birthday dinner for me Monday night. My birthday was last month, so it wasn't my birthday, but they had a little birthday dinner for me. And they got me this really cool card. It lights up and it plays music, so I thought you guys might want to check it out. I'll put it right up here where you can see it. Hopefully you can hear the music. Isn't that cool? That was, I think that's probably the coolest card I've ever gotten, especially for my brother. So I wanted to show you guys that. So remember we were talking, our theme this week is all about me and my name. And I had mentioned that we were going to be reading some books about names. So today is one of those days. So I have our little mystery envelope that we started last year because you guys like to guess what the book might be. Unfortunately, I can't have you guess, but we can pull the book out slowly. Now, some of you might have seen or read this book before. It's a pretty popular book. It's called Chrysanthemum. This is one of my kind of favorite books. I really like it a lot. So I will read it to you, and then I will try to show you the pictures up closer so you can see them. All right, so Chrysanthemum. This is a little bit of a longer story than the one we read the other day. The day she was born was the happiest day in her parents' lives. She's perfect, said her mother. Absolutely, said her father. And she was. She was absolutely perfect. Her name must be everything she is, said her mother. Her name must be absolutely perfect, said her father. And it was Chrysanthemum. Her parents named her Chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum grew and grew and grew. And when she was old enough to appreciate it, Chrysanthemum loved her name. See right there? She got a little older. She says, I love my name. She loved the way it sounded when her mother woke her up. She loved the way it sounded when her father called her for dinner. And she loved the way it sounded when she whispered it to herself in the bathroom mirror. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum loved the way her name looked when it was written with ink on an envelope. She loved the way it looked when it was written with icing on her birthday cake. There it is. And she loved the way it looked when she wrote it herself with her fat orange crayon. There she wrote it. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum thought her name was absolutely perfect. And then she started school. On the first day, Chrysanthemum wore her sunniest dress and her biggest smile. She ran all the way. Hooray, said Chrysanthemum, school! But when Mrs. Chud took roll call, everyone giggled upon hearing Chrysanthemum's name. It's so long, said Joe. It scarcely fits on your name tag, said Rita, pointing. I'm named after my grandmother, said Victoria. You're named after a flower. Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. The rest of the day was not much better. During nap time, Victoria raised her hand and informed Mrs. Chud that Chrysanthemum's name was spelled with 13 letters. That's exactly half as many letters as there are in the entire alphabet, Victoria explained. Thank you for sharing that with us, Victoria, said Mrs. Chud. Now put your head down. I get to take a nap at school. Oh my goodness. If I had a name like yours, I'd change it, Victoria said, as the students lined up to go home. I wish I could, thought Chrysanthemum miserably. Poor Chrysanthemum. Welcome home, said her mother. Welcome home, said her father. School is no place for me, said Chrysanthemum. My name is too long. It scarcely fits on my name tag. And I'm named after a flower. Gosh, I think it's cool to be named after a flower. Oh, pish, said her mother. Your name is beautiful. And precious, and priceless, and fascinating, and winsome, said her father. Boy, those are some words, aren't they? It's everything you are, said her mother. Absolutely perfect, said her father. Boy, Chrysanthemum doesn't think so right now, does she? Chrysanthemum felt much better after her favorite dinner, macaroni and cheese with ketchup. That's interesting. And an evening filled with hugs and kisses and parcheesi. That night, Chrysanthemum dreamed that her name was Jane. It was an extremely pleasant dream. The next morning, Chrysanthemum wore her most comfortable jumper. She walked to school as slowly as she could. She dragged her feet in the dirt. Chrysanthemum, 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 she wrote. She even looks like a flower, said Victoria as Chrysanthemum entered the playground. Let's pick her, said Rita, pointing. Let's smell her, said Joe. Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. The rest of the day was not much better. During nap time, Victoria raised her hand and said, "A chrysanthemum is a flower. It lives in a garden with worms and other dirty things." "Thank you for sharing that with us, Victoria," said Mrs. Chudd. "Now put your head down." "I just cannot believe your name," Victoria said, as the students lined up to go home. "Neither can I," thought Chrysanthemum miserably. Look at her face. She's got a frown. She's really sad. I would be too, if the kids were making fun of my name like that. "Welcome home," said her mother. "Welcome home," said her father. "School is no place for me," said Chrysanthemum. "They said I even looked like a flower. They pretended to pick me and smell me." "Oh, pish," said her mother. "They're just jealous and envious and begrudging and discontented and jaundiced," said her father. Boy, her father likes some funny words, doesn't he? "Who wouldn't be jealous of a name like yours?" said her mother. "After all, it's absolutely perfect," said her father. Chrysanthemum felt a trifle better after her favorite dessert, chocolate cake with buttercream frosting, and another evening filled with hugs and kisses and parcheesi. That night, Chrysanthemum dreamed that she really was a chrysanthemum. She sprouted leaves and petals. Victoria picked her and plucked the leaves and petals one by one until there was nothing left but a scrawny stem. It was the worst nightmare of Chrysanthemum's life. Chrysanthemum wore her outfit with 7 pockets the next morning. That's cool. An outfit with 7 pockets. She loaded the pockets with her most prized possessions and her good luck charms. Chrysanthemum took the longest route possible to school. She stopped and stared at each and every flower. "Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum," the flowers seemed to say. That morning, the students were introduced to Mrs. Twinkle, the music teacher. Her voice was like something out of a dream, as was everything about her. The students were speechless. They thought Mrs. Twinkle was an indescribable wonder. They went out of their way to make a nice impression. Mrs. Twinkle led the students in scales. Then she assigned roles for the class musical. Victoria was chosen as the dainty fairy queen. Rita was chosen as the spiffy butterfly princess. Joe was chosen as the all-important pixie messenger. And Chrysanthemum was chosen as a daisy. Chrysanthemum's daisy, or excuse me, chrysanthemum's a daisy, chrysanthemum's a daisy, Joe, Rita, and Victoria chanted, thinking it was wildly funny. Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. "What's so humorous?" asked Mrs. Twinkle. "Chrysanthemum," was the answer. "Her name is so long," said Joe. "It scarcely fits on her name tag," said Rita, pointing. "I'm named after my grandmother," said Victoria. "She's named after a flower." Wait till you see what Mrs. Twinkle's name is. "My name is long," says Mrs. Twinkle. It is, said Joe. My name would scarcely fit on a name tag, said Mrs. Twinkle. It would, said Rita, pointing. And, said Mrs. Twinkle, I'm named after a flower too. You are, said Victoria. Yes. And said Mrs. Twinkle, my name is Delphinium. Delphinium Twinkle. And if my baby is a girl, because you can see she's got her baby bump right there, I'm considering chrysanthemum as a name. I think it's absolutely perfect. Chrysanthemum could scarcely believe her ears. She blushed, she beamed, she bloomed. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. Joe, Rita, and Victoria looked at Chrysanthemum longingly. Call me Marigold, said Joe. I'm Carnation, said Rita, pointing. My name is Lily of the Valley, said Victoria. Chrysanthemum did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She knew it. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that story. I really like it because in the end, everything turns out great, and Chrysanthemum realizes what an awesome name she really has, even though the kids were making fun of her at first. So I forgot to show you, I know most of you already know about your journals. The other day, I forgot to show you your journal. So every week, just like last year if you were here before, if you're new, that's okay too. Every week you'll get a new journal question, and what you'll do is you'll open it up, your journal up, and I forgot to put a clip on this one, but yours has a little black clip, and that is to remind you to only color on one page at a time, all right? So you're not gonna turn the pages until your mom or dad moves the clip, all right? So your mom or dad will write the question on your paper, the journal question, and then you will draw about it. And then you can tell your mom or dad about the picture that you drew, and they will write down what you say, okay? So that's every week you'll have one of those. And then I also sent home in your take-home packet a paper plate. And in the directions that I sent home, I sent an email to your mom and dad, I said that with this paper plate, you can make a face that looks kind of like yours. And you can use any kind of art supplies that you have at home, all right? So I have some stuff that actually I got from a place called the Scrap Box, and I told your mom and dad about that place. It's a great place to get some art and crafts supplies. And I'm going to kind of use my Scrap Box things to make my paper plate face. Let's see if I can get this off. So these are little sticky back foam things. These are super fun, and they have tons of these at the Scrap Box. I'm going to use these to make my ears. So I'm gonna stick one over there. This one might just want to come off too easily. Well, there it goes. Got it. All right, there's my other ear over there. And then I have, these are our little glue bottles that we have at school. At home, you can make your own with a little jar or a little container and a paintbrush. See, this has a little paintbrush on the end. I know if you were here before, you know what these are, but if you're new, you wouldn't have known what these were. So I'm gonna put on some eyes. I have some little jewels. Now, these ones are blue. My eyes are actually hazel. So my eyes change color. But I don't have any color changing eyes, unfortunately, that I can glue on. So I'm just gonna use a little bit of glue and glue on my little eyes. And then I have these little puzzle pieces. I decided I was going to use those to make my mouth down here. So I'm going to have a little puzzle piece mouth. but you can make yours however you want. And if you don't happen to have things that you can glue on, that's okay too. You can also use crayons to draw your face, or markers or colored pencils, whatever you happen to have at your house. I'm gonna make a big puzzle smile here. All right, I think that's where I'm gonna stop right there. And then I have these little things. These came from the scrap box too. They're just these little foam things. These ones don't have a sticky back on them. So I'm gonna use a little glue. This one's gonna be my nose. And you could also add some hair if you wanted. I didn't bring anything over to make hair. All right, so there's my little, stuff's gonna fall off, I'm afraid. There's my little face that I made out of craft supplies. All right, so you can make that at home too. All right, oh, my eyes are sliding down. You'll want to keep it flat until everything dries so that things don't slide off like mine are. All right, so that is all I have for you today, and I will see some of you today for our small group time if you're signed up for today at 10:30. And everyone else I will see on Friday for our next circle time. So it was really good to see you guys, and I will see you again soon. Bye.